Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. It's me again. It's Russell Mills. It is July 17th, 2018 on a Tuesday. I want to say hello to everybody. Hope everybody um, has a good day. Hope everything's cool with you. Had a question. Just looking some stuff up. I was just wondering, why do we stand for the Star Spangled Banner when from what I've heard, there's been like a lot of like racial undertones in that song. I just want to write. I actually wrote some notes down about the guy who actually wrote the song. His name is Francis Scott Key. So, excuse me, excuse me. Francis Scott Key was an American lawyer, author, and amateur poet from Frederick, Maryland, who was best known for writing the poem, which later became the lyrics for the United States national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. He was born on August 1st, 1779, at Frederick County, Maryland. He died on January 11th, 1843, in Baltimore, Maryland. He was buried in Mount Olivet Cemetery in Frederick, Maryland. His education was in St. John's, which was in Maryland. He had children, Philip Barton Key II and Elizabeth Howard. His son, Philip Barton Key, was an American lawyer who served as a U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia. He was born April 5th, 1818 in Georgetown, D.C. He died February 27th, 1859. He was famous for a public affair with a woman named, if I say her name wrong, sorry, Teresa Bagioli, I believe, I'm sorry, Sickles, and Sickless, I'm sorry. And eventually he got murdered at the hands of her husband, which was Congressman Daniel Sickles of New York. Sickles defended himself by adopting the defense of temporary insanity, the first time the defense had been used in the United States. Philip Barton Key, he married Ellen Swan, the daughter of a Baltimore attorney, on November 18th, 1845. Daniel Sickles shot Philip Barton Key, and he was taken to the nearby Benjamin Taylor House, where he died. And he had a sister, Elizabeth Key Howard, born on October 10th, 1803. She died September 9th, 1897, at the age of 93. So, and it says, during the War of 1812, accompanied by the British prisoner exchange agent Colony John Stuart Skinner, dined aboard the British ship HMS Tonnets as guest of the three British officers. This is Vice Admiral Alexander Cochrane, Rear Admiral George Cockburn, and Major General Robert Ross. Skinner and Key were to negotiate the release of the prisoners, one of whom was Dr. William Venus, a resident of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, who has been arrested after jailing marauding British troops who were looting local farms. Skinner, Key, and Venus were not allowed to return to their own sloop because they had to become familiar with the strength and the position of the British unit and with the British intent to attack Baltimore. Thus, Key was unable to do anything but watch the bombarding of the American forces of the Fort McHenry during the Battle of the Baltimore on the night of September 13th through 14th, 1814. At dawn, Key was able to see American flags still waving. Back in Baltimore, an expired Key wrote a poem about the defense of Fort McHenry, which was soon published in the William Pensions / American, American and Commercial Daily Advertisers on September 21st, 1814. He took it to Thomas Carr, a music publisher, who adopted it to the rhythm of the composer John Stafford Smith. And another thing that I didn't know, the Battle of Baltimore was a sea/land battle fought between British invaders and American defenders in the War of 1812. I didn't know that. Like I said, I'm trying to learn every day. So to continue from this is the Mexican-American War was from 1846 to 1848. It says, a popular tune Key had already used as a setting for his 1805 song, When the Warriors Returned, celebrating U.S. heroes of the First Barbary War. Key used the Star-Spangled Flag imagery in the early songs. It has become better known as the Star-Spangled Banner. Though somewhat difficult to sing, it became increasingly popular, competing with Hail Columbia in 1796 as the de facto national anthem by the time Mexican-American War and American Civil War. More than a century after its first publication, the song was adopted as the American national anthem, first by executive order from President Woodrow Wilson in 1916, which had a little effect beyond requiring military bands to play what became known as the service version, and then by congressional resolution in 1931, signed by President Herbert Hoover. Just to let you know, Thomas Woodrow, he served as the 28th president of the United States from 1913 to 1921, and Herbert Clark Hoover, he was an American engineer, businessman, and politician who served as the 31st president of the United States from 1929 to 1933 during the Great Depression. So I'm going to see if I can play you guys something that I taped off of YouTube.
A lawyer once. His name was Francis Scott Key. He penned a song that I'm sure you're aware of. You've seen it. It's in most hymnals throughout our churches. It's called the national anthem. It is our song as an American. We go, however, to a ball game. We stand in our church services and we sing the words of that song, and they float over our minds and our lips, and we don't even realize what we're singing. Most of us have memorized it as a child, but we've never really thought about what it means. Let me tell you a story. Francis Scott Key was a lawyer in Baltimore. The colonies were engaged in vicious conflict with the mother country, Britain. Because of this conflict and the protractedness of it, they had accumulated prisoners on both sides. The American colonies had prisoners and the British had prisoners. And the American government initiated a move. They went to the British and they said, let us negotiate for the release of these prisoners. They said, we want to send a man out to discuss this with you. They were holding the American prisoners in boats about 1,000 yards offshore. And they said, we want to send a man by the name of Francis Scott Key. He will come out and negotiate to see if we can make a mutual exchange. On the appointed day in a rowboat, he went out to this boat and he negotiated with the British officials. And they reached a conclusion that men could be exchanged on a one-for-one basis. Francis Scott Key, jubilant with the fact that he'd been successful, went down below in the boats, and what he found was a cargo boat full of humanity, men. And he said, men, I've got news for you tonight. You're free. He said, tonight I have negotiated. Once his name was Francis Scott Key.
So I just wanted to play you guys a quick little something about that. I don't understand, this whole situation, like I said, but, as far as the prisoners, that they have held hostage, I don't understand that. But like I said, like I said, history is so important today, everybody, and to know where you come from, and actually know what's going on and what has happened in history, so we can teach our kids if we decide to have kids, and so they can understand and know the facts about life. And some stuff we got to dig a little bit deeper, because unfortunately in some of these school systems, they don't always teach our children right. And we have to teach them, because we can't expect the schools to do everything. You know what I'm saying? The schools can only do so much. So we as the parents have to make sure we teach our children the right way. That's, basically that's the. But what do you guys think about what has happened over the years? And what do you guys think about that song, Spangled Banner? Me personally, I don't think people should stand for that. I remember back it was August 26th, 2016, when Colin Kaepernick, he kneeled, during the national anthem, and he had a big uproar about that. That he refused to stand because, he refused to stand because he thought it was about, because he was standing up for racial injustice and police brutality in this country, which has been going on for quite some time, since the beginning of time. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't think black people personally should stand, or anybody should stand for it. But they say it's the American history song. You know what I mean, for this country, and I don't know, but me personally, I wouldn't stand. But I wanted to make a quick video. Hopefully, you guys like it. I hope. I'm just trying to learn more about history, myself. I'm just trying to, take the time to learn, just like anybody else should. But I want to say thank you for anybody that has watched my videos, taking the time to really look at it. Just don't watch it for like 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Take the time to try to listen to what I have to say. I don't expect you guys to agree with everything that I say or do, because, my word isn't law. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you guys my opinion about how I feel about anything. But I want everybody to have a good night. Take care. Be blessed. All right. Bye.